I started off strong and I actually did 2 videos based on the Inktober prompts. That was Dream and Spider. I've placed a link to those 2 videos in the description below. Well, as you can see, I got really carried away doing lots of feathers. This numerous study of feathers was a warm-up for those on my dream catcher. The next prompt was Spider, and I did a series of about 6 different variations. So no wonder towards the end of the challenge I sort of ran out of steam. For the different variations I used different pens, different kinds of shading and different papers. From the good numbers of this drawing that I did, it's clear that I really enjoyed doing them, and they are definitely some candidates for some bigger artwork later on. I have so many to choose from. I created a short for this particular drawing. And I created a longer version on how to do this drawing on black paper. Links for both of these are in the description below. Okay, so the next prompt I chose was path, and I decided to draw 3 figures walking along a pathway. I was kind of intrigued by the central figure, so I decided to do a more detailed drawing of just that figure alone. The next prompt was map, and this prompt, along with the following which was drip, were the perfect opportunities to do some still life. So here we have a pile of pancakes dripping with maple syrup. The next prompt I chose was bounce. And when I thought of bounce, clearly I thought of bouncing balls. So as you can see, I am no basketball player, but I had fun doing this as it was the perfect excuse to get some fun exercise and draw some figures in action. Following this prompt, I chose castle. The first castle I drew was Warwick Castle, which I visited ages ago. And the second castle I drew was Gandhi Castle in Ethiopia, which one day I hope to visit. Using the prompts available in the challenge was really useful for exploring lots of ideas and subjects and trying out different styles and techniques. Next up was saddle. It actually ended up being more horse than saddle. I guess the saddle prompt was just my excuse to draw some of those beautiful Chinese horse statues that I like so much. Some of my viewers may recognize this image as it was the drawing that I used to paint my horse for the farm challenge. So of course I ended up doing a couple of versions of the horses. I did 2 different drawings and 2 versions of each. The next prompt was chain, and I thought, why not put the cold metallic chains next to something soft and organic like foliage and flowers. Here again I used a ballpoint pen, and I can see lots of things I would change or improve on. Celestial, that is the next prompt I chose. And I chose this as an excuse to do a personification of the Andromeda Galaxy. Again, I used a ballpoint pen for this one. Every stroke and every line is a commitment. In subsequent ones, you'll see that I fell back to using my pencil, simply because I had more control over them. In my second Andromeda drawing, my pencil was in full force because I find it so much easier to get subtle shades, lines and details. Throughout the challenge, I resorted back to the use of my pencil, but in reality there are no hard and fast rules as to what tools you can use for the Inktober challenge. I really enjoyed doing faces and portraits again, so I'll definitely be exploring the goddess and celestial theme in the future, so look out for those. The penultimate prompt was remove. Again, just another excuse to get back into drawing faces and portraits. In this drawing, I was very strategic to the placement of line. At some areas I tried to go a little darker and others much lighter. So, truth be told, by the end of the last week I was definitely running out of steam and wanted to do something fun and light-hearted. So I chose magical beasts. Of course, as usual, I started off with a ballpoint and progressed to my pencil. But I had so much fun doing this, putting together these little creatures. It was a fun, light-hearted pick-me-up. I did 2 floating dragons and 2 seated dragons. I think they would be great perhaps in a children's book or for a cartoon. I just really enjoyed this last dash to the finish line. Let's do a little recap as to what I got out of doing a drawing every day for an entire month. In observing so many artists, I really admired their discipline. Some were able to complete a whole book, and some a set of beautifully rendered posters. If you want to put together a collection of work or you need to put together a portfolio, this is the perfect discipline and perfect opportunity to get it done in good time. I was able to observe the styles and techniques of different artists, and I learned a lot about myself as to what I liked and what I didn't like so much. For example, I saw some beautifully rendered digital art and it really inspired me to give that a try. This 31-day challenge also forced me to look at areas that I need to improve. With every drawing I saw little things that I would tweak or change. When I next do the Inktober challenge, I'll definitely give myself a head start using the prompts early so that I can, in fact, perhaps have a nice little book or a set of beautifully finished posters at the end. So, I do believe I completed a set of 31 drawings. I should give myself a little pat on the back for doing so. And I'm so happy to have completed this video as promised. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to like and subscribe. Wishing you so much love. Peace.